The United States Senate has reached a deal in principle to end the nation's longest government shutdown, though the plan still needs approval before the wheels of government start turning again. Have a look at this explainer from 7 News.
7 Democrat senators and 1 independent, tired of the political wrangling, have sided with Republicans, striking a deal to fund the government, at least for the next couple of months, paving the way for an end to the stalemate. 7 Democrat senators and 1 independent, tired of the political wrangling, have sided with Republicans, striking a deal to fund the government, at least for the next couple of months, paving the way for an end to the stalemate. The breakthrough, coming after weeks of dead-end negotiations, came to a head during a rare weekend Senate session in Washington today. The dissenting Democrats arguing waiting any longer wouldn't do any good after Republicans repeatedly refused their key demand to extend billions of dollars in healthcare tax credits. But Democrat leaders have accused them of capitulating.
This fight will and must continue. Democrats must fight because of millions of families will lose health care coverage.
Waiting another week or another month wouldn't deliver a better outcome.
You don't know that. Now, look, if approved, the deal would restore funding to key agencies, bringing hundreds of thousands of federal workers back on the job and easing strain on essential services. That is good. But these Democrats and the Independent have completely ruined it for the Democrats, who finally had a plan that could force Republicans into agreeing to extend health care. Just 2 days ago, Democrat Chuck Schumer, the minority leader of the United States Senate, he took to the Senate floor and said this.
After so many failed votes, it's clear we need to try something different. What the Senate is doing isn't working for either party and isn't working for the American people. Democrats have said we must address the health care crisis, but Republicans have repeatedly said they won't negotiate to lower the health care costs until the government reopens. So let's find a path to honor both positions. Democrats would like to see an end to this shutdown, and we want to respect Leader Thune's desire not to negotiate on ACA until after the government reopens. Therefore, we'd like to offer a simple proposal that would reopen the government and extend the ACA premium tax credits simultaneously, and then have the opportunity to start negotiating longer-term solutions to health care costs. Let's do all three. I've spoken with my caucus, and Democrats are offering a very simple compromise. Democrats are ready to clear the way to quickly pass a government funding bill that includes health care affordability. Leader Thune just needs to add a clean 1-year extension of the ACA tax credits to the CR so that we can immediately address rising health care costs. That's not a negotiation. It's an extension of current law, something we do all the time around here, as we all know. But we also offer this. Let's create a bipartisan committee that will continue negotiations after the government reopens on reforms, ahead of next year's enrollment period, to provide long-term certainty that health care costs will be more affordable.
The Democrats, after years of getting it wrong politically, finally got it right. This was a masterstroke. They basically said to the Republicans, let healthcare go for another year and we'll open the government and we can sort it out, because it was the Republicans who were hurting. It was the Republicans who were seen as the bad guys here. Donald Trump kept saying the Democrat shutdown. J.D. Vance, the Democrat shutdown. Every Republican was trying to blame the Democrats, but that message wasn't getting to the American people who understood the basic of this. The Democrats were not willing to let healthcare go and were saying, we want that as a separate issue. We won't shut we want to bring the government up again. We want the shutdown to end, but not at the cost of healthcare. Now, the pinch here is the fact that the premiums are going up and everyone's hurting because of the shutdown. But these 7 Democrats have thrown their party under the bus, and this will have political ramifications because they're seen as weak. The Republicans had been pushed into a corner. What reasonable person wouldn't have said, okay, we'll extend healthcare for a year and we'll open the government. We'll end the government shutdown. That was a no-brainer, but the Republicans were saying, no, this is outrageous, we're not doing a deal. The Democrats had them by the balls. And these seven Democrats have basically done the dirty on their party. They are traitors. And they might think, and look, I'm going to assume their reasons for doing it were good, worried about the hurt everyone is feeling, but they've done more long-term damage than good. And now the Republicans know, if they didn't already, the Democrats are so weak, they will eventually bend the knee. They will do whatever they want. This is a bad day for Democrats. It's an embarrassing day when, for once, Chuck Schumer, who has been the butt of a lot of jokes, came out with a bloody good plan. This was masterstroke. And his own party screwed him over. Well done, Democrats. You've just given the Republicans more time in Parliament. I hope you enjoyed the win last week because you've now screwed yourself over. You were riding off the back of negativity towards the Republicans over this government shutdown. You are idiots. Those 7 people should absolutely be ashamed of themselves.
Fun, insightful interviews from a washed-up producer with nothing to lose.